Racing fans, I'm Scott. This is Scott's House of HO Racing. Thank you for stopping by tonight. I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, I would appreciate it if you do the LSS below, the old like, share, subscribe. And if you are a current subscriber to the channel, I appreciate you coming back and appreciate your patronage to the channel. Everyone that does stop by, be sure and do the comment below with any tips, suggestions, or comments. I love interacting with everybody that subscribes. It's always nice to talk slot cars with people. So hope everybody's doing well. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be Thursday morning when you see it, but I'm filming it on Wednesday night, so I hope the halfway point of your week has gone well so far, and the last downhill slide is going to go quickly for everybody, and we can get straight to the weekend. Hope you all have been able to get out and melt some, light some sparks and melt some plastic and do some tweaking on the cars. I know the weather's changing, but that doesn't stop me. I do my slot cars year round. So without further ado, this is the Buy It Before EvilBay TYCO 2. And in case you've missed the other two videos, I'll give you a brief rundown. I'm going to give a brief description of all 5 of the cars that you see in front of you tonight. I'm going to list those for sale. If you are interested in purchasing any one or more of those cars, you simply email me which cars you want, your mailing address. I email you back the total cost to your door with the shipping included, and you tell me yes I want it or no I don't. And if you say yes you do, then I'll send you an invoice via PayPal, and as soon as payment clears, then you will I will ship the car within 48 hours and contact you with the tracking information so you can follow it straight to your doorstep. And like I mentioned in the previous videos, I have a 100% money back guarantee, but I do not refund shipping. So if you do purchase a car and you get it and you don't like it, or you decide that you don't want it, or maybe your financial situation changed between the time that you decided to buy it and the time that it actually showed up to the door, in the 3 to 5 days that it takes to arrive, first class postage with the USPS, then just simply email me and say, Scott, my plans have changed. I'd like to return this car. You ship it back to me in the condition that I shipped it to you. As soon as I get it, then I simply credit back the purchase price of the car to the PayPal payment method that was used to originally purchase the car. That easy, no questions asked, no hassle guaranteed, and that will be listed in all the emails so that you have a written verification. You are protected with the PayPal purchase program. And that's how I do all my business with my online shop that you can Google, Scott's House of HO Racing. Ironically, the same name as the channel. So I also added another caveat to the people that have seen the other videos, and that is if you purchase $100 or more of any combination of cars, TYCO or Auto World, or once I get to them, a couple of the AFX, Aurora, if you purchase any of the combination of those and it comes to a total of $100 before shipping, then I will ship them to you for free if it's all done in one order. That's simple. So keep that in mind whenever you see all the cars, because I do know that sometimes paying a shipping cost determines whether or not you're going to buy something. But in this case, if you spend $100 basically or more, you're going to get it shipped to your door for free. So without further ado, I am excited to show you the 5 cars that we do have tonight. I don't know how many people out there are actual collectors and how many people race, or if they're like me, they do a combination of both. If you're a combination of both kind of guy, then I probably got this is a really good episode for you. I've got stuff from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s sitting right there in front of you. And I've got something for sale that is very hard to find in the collector world if you are a TYCO collector. But I'll get to that car when I get to that car. The very first car for this evening that I'm going to start with is the Renault that you see right here in front of you. And that car is their Chaparral F1, or I'm sorry, IndyCar body style. So if you're not familiar with how TYCO does their various body styles, they have 4 total body styles. They have their 2 Indies, and the 2 Indy ones are like this one, which is the Chaparral. They have the Wildcat, which is like your STP, the Budweiser, the TYCO giveaway promotional car, that body style. And then they have their F1 style, and then they just call it the F1, and then they have the F1 Shark Nose, which is the later version, which is that one right there. And so they have 4 different versions of an open wheel Indy F1 style car, and that one is the Chaparral. That particular car, there are 4 versions of that car made, 3 that are American, and then one of those 3 is American Japanese, and then there's one that is a strictly Japanese version that has a black tail, and it is the rarest of all 4 of those, and it's a availability of a 1, which is very rare, and it is the best collector value of the 4 cars. However, this one is a little rare of the 3 American and then the 1 hybrid American Japanese version, as it has the Michelin on the wing and on the rear wing, and then on both front wings. There is a version that does not have that, and that is the least collectible if it doesn't have the Michelin there and there, in case you were wondering. So if you ever see those cars available for sale, just know that if it doesn't say Michelin on it anywhere, that is the least valuable, and it is a 4 collector value, where this one is a 3. And that one sits on a 440 chassis, and it was produced from 1981 to 1982, part number 8908. And like I mentioned earlier, the availability of that is 1, and the condition of that particular car is a C7. Like I mentioned in the preview before, this car has been used with minor wear, but still shows quite well. And like I mentioned in the previous videos, I'm not a car salesman. I'm going to point out every flaw, and as you can see here, it's missing one of the mirrors. But it's got the wing, all the tempo looks good, but we'll go over each individual car in a little later. We're just highlighting and going through what's available tonight for sale. And then once again, after I do the individual descriptions of the cars and show any flaws that may be on the 2 that are out of the package, then I'll go to the still shots that has the pricing, slot car availability, and the condition grading scale on it, and show various pictures, angles of each car. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I'll start all videos with the cars out of the package first, and then go to the cars in the package. So we're going to jump from 1981 to 82 all the way up to basically 20 years, if you want to look at it that way, 2001. And what you have there is the Shark Nose F1 version TYCO car, the McLaren Mercedes Mika Hakkinen, I'm sorry. That set car came from the World Tour set car 95715, the American version. There were 2 versions of that race set that were produced by TYCO and the Hot Wheels brand on it. This is the American version of the car, and I will go into detail on how you can do that, but long story short, the orange will tell you that it's the American version if you ever see these cars out, and if it's red, that means it's the European version. Either or is not more rare than the other. They actually made the same amount of each set from what I've read. Now, how many of those I don't know. It just said equal amounts made. So take that for what it's worth. They don't give an exact amount of those sets. Mattel didn't release that information, so your guess is as good as anybody else's. The only people that know is Mattel. Or if somebody does, please comment below. You know, I'm always willing to share, and I'm always willing to admit when I'm wrong, like I did in my first video. And thank you to the subscriber that pointed that out, and I did make the correction on that video in the description. So this one would be rare, to say the least, because it is a set car, but they don't put an availability on those because they don't know how many of them were produced. But based on the numbers that you can see available for sale, I would have to say personally that I would rank that at least a 1 or a 2. A 2 at the very least, rare. And then so that's how I'm going to leave it. There's no official slot car availability on it, but that's my personal opinion based on what I've seen as availability on eBay and other websites. And the only other place that you can buy that car is in that set. You cannot buy that this specific version of the Mercedes in any other way but that World Tour set. That, like I said, that set part number is 95715, and it was produced in 2001. This is the American version with the shark nose body, and it has the orange swooshes on it. Now we're going to back up a decade, back up into the 90s, and we'll just start over there on the left-hand side, and we'll go with good old Mark Martin and his number 6 1998 Ford Taurus. That is TYCO part number 35397. The condition on this car would obviously be a C10 plus. Whole car is new, never run, and includes original packaging. As you can see, you've got an option there of cracking that baby open and zipping it around the track. Because it was availability of a 5, it was very common. You can see those a lot available. They are getting fewer to find brand new in the package, but they're still out there. So you know, it's not that hard to find them. It's a little bit of work, and you could find one probably for more than what I'm going to ask, but I'm very reasonable. And then last but not least, I have a twin pack here, and you're asking yourself, you know, that's a pretty common Grand Prix. Why would that be a collector pack? Well, what makes this a collector's pack is there's 2 versions of this Petty Grand Prix. This is the metallic blue version, and they call this one the Hot Wheels Grand Prix, and it was driven by Kyle Petty. This is just what they list as the team pickup truck. Okay, they only made 5 trucks. So let that sink in for a second. While you may see this car a lot, they only made 5 of those. And once again, that was made in 1998, just like Mark Martin's car, and it only came in this twin pack. So the only way you could purchase this truck was in this twin pack in 1998. Other than, you know, when it was produced in 98 and then whatever stock was left until it was sold out. And obviously you still see these new pop up. But that is the rarity of that. And if you're wondering what the 5 trucks are, there's the number 3 Mike Skinner, there's the J.C. Penney version of it, you have the Sears Die Hard version of it, the Exide Batteries version of it, and then there you go, the Hot Wheels version of it. So there's your 5 versions of those trucks. If you are a collector of the NASCAR type cars and or trucks, this is definitely one you're going to want to add to your collection. If you are a collector of the older Indy style chaparrals, this one is either going to be a good display just because it's only missing that one wing, see, and then obviously these things had the problem with the wings popping up and down, see. So, or if you want to, you can run it. I personally, with the Tampo at this and the condition this end, this was one of my display cars before. Like I mentioned, I'm always upgrading, and I actually got one that was in better condition than this. It had both the mirrors on it, and everything else was just as perfect as this one is. But this one, if you're a collector, yeah, time to grab it, because like I said, these are going to be harder and harder to find. These were set-only cars, which means that people opened them up and played with them. And this one just so happens to be a C8, very clean with very little wear. And when we go into the detail on it, when I do the cars individually, you'll see, because I'll be zoomed in and you'll be able to see the Tampo. So once again, those are the 5 cars for the Buy It Before EvilBay TYCO 2. This is going to be, once again, the last time you're going to hear me speak before I go into each individual car. So once again, if you haven't, I would just like to plug the channel one last time and thank everybody that is viewing. If you could, please help support the channel and help grow it. The more people that like, share, and subscribe, it just gets it out there into the YouTube algorithms, and the more people have a chance to help us grow everybody's knowledge base that is already a subscriber on the channel. So if you're first time viewer, please below LSS, the like, share, subscribe. And if you're a current subscriber, please be sure and share that with some friends, and comment below. Like I said, I love interacting with everybody. So I'll stop rambling now. You all enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. Be sure to light some sparks and melt some plastic. Hold real quick. I'm going to pause the video and we're going to go through each individual car. Everybody take care. All right. Thank you for sticking with me. Here we have, like I mentioned, car number 1 tonight. That is the Chaparral Indy Style F1 Renault, part number 8908. Produced from 1981 to 82. Its slot car availability is a 3, which is a friendly reminder, average, better collector value. And this particular model is a condition C7. And like I mentioned earlier also, you can see the mirror missing. And I told you I'd point out everything. And then on this side, you can see a little bit of scratches on the tampo on the Renault. I'm not going to touch the car, and then you can see some of the scrapes on the side. Probably, I'm guessing, from guardrails running around the track. And it is on a 440 chassis, and you can see it is used. But once again, very nice car considering the age. I mean, 1981, 82. So, it's at least 40 years old. And like I mentioned on all I am going to show that they run, because I don't sell any cars that don't run. If I can get the battery on there. Nope. Let's do it this way. She's a runner. And like I mentioned, it's up to you whether or not you want to use this as a collector car that you can sit. So you can sit the wing there. I personally had mine sitting like that. I didn't care that the mirror was missing. I was just happy that the Michelin tampo was all good, that the Michelin on the wings that you can read right there was all good. There's a little scuff right there on the 15 on the 1. No big deal. There's usually a lot of scuffing there. You can see a little nick on the top. And like I said, this is a good used car. It shows somewhere, but if you were to put that up on your shelf, considering it's 40 years old, not a bad deal. So without further ado, that's car number 1, and I'll pause it here and we'll get to car number 2, which is going to be the McLaren Mercedes. One moment, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back. This is the set only McLaren Mercedes, driven by Mika Hakkinen, part number 95715 from the World Tour 2001 set. This is the American version with the orange swooshes and the orange highlights. This is on the F1 shark nose, as you can see there. That's why it gets its name, the shape of that nose. The F1 shark nose from TYCO. This is a C8, which is very clean with very little wear. And when I say very little, there is no signs of wear anywhere on this body. None whatsoever. And you'll see in the still shots. But those are the swooshes that I was talking about that will be red on the European version and orange on the American version. Look at that, see? No scratch marks, nothing on the top. There's normal scratches from wrecks. This thing is perfection, like it came out of the baggie. And then when there's the other way, and once I flip it over, you'll see how little wear there is on those shoes. And you're asking yourself, well, Scott, why are you getting rid of that car? Well, it's because I was fortunate enough to buy one of the sets. So I no longer need this car. I already have one that's brand new from a set. And there you go. she's a runner. Hadn't been on the track running much, but and honestly, for what I see these things going for on eBay, I don't know that if I were anybody that I would put that on the track. I mean, you can look at the Tampo, the Mobile's perfect, the Computer Associates is perfect, Mobile One, Mercedes, you know, Loctite. I mean, it's on and on. The detail on this car is just incredible for a little itty bitty HO slot car from 2001. It's perfect. So I'll pause the video and we'll dig out old Mark Martin's stock car. One moment. There we go. All right, there we have the third car tonight, and that is the Mark Martin number 6 1998 Ford Taurus, TYCO part number 35397. Availability of this car would be considered a 5. Very common, limited collector value, but hasn't been made since 1998, so that does make it 24 years old, and obviously fewer and fewer of those are going to be represented in a C10 Plus original packaging. Whole car is new, never run, includes the original packaging, as you can see there. Great looking car. I'm going to spend a lot of time on it since it is in the package, and then as you can see there, I'll do the more still shots later, but a great looking car. I love the fact that there's 2 versions of the number 6 of the Mark Martin car, and that's the one that you can readily purchase, and the other one came in their track set and their and individually as a Hot Wheels version branded car. So anyway, that's the third car for this evening, the Mark Martin number 6, part number 35397 from 1998, C10 Plus packaging, as a slot car condition grading scale, and as availability of a 5. So out of the 5 cars this evening, that one would be the least collectible, but once again, it is 24 years old. So give me just a moment and I'll get the last 2 cars up in that twin pack. 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Here's our Hot Wheels twin pack. As you can see there, we have twin pack number 34018 from TYCO from 1998 also. This one's also a condition C10 Plus. It was also rated as a C, or as a availability 5, but like I mentioned earlier, with the limited numbers that are still going to be out there brand new in the package from 1998 in this condition, but the one thing that makes these unique is if you are a collector, it's the only way you're going to get that truck. That truck is one of the only 5 versions that they made. This one is called the Teen Pickup Truck, the Hot Wheels Teen Pickup Truck. It's based on the Chevy body style, and the Pontiac Grand Prix there, 1998, based on Kyle Petty's actual NASCAR stock car. So that's a twin pack. So those are that's like getting 2 brand new cars in one package, time warp. So you could actually, stick those up on the wall, or if you want to get them out on the track, they'd look good too. Just a little heads up, like I mentioned earlier, this is the metallic blue version of the Kyle version Hot Wheels Grand Prix number 44. They make 2 versions of the car and crew, and the only way to get the other version is in that car and crew. And how you can tell the difference, I'll give you the one thing that I always look for to see which version is which, because you can't always tell from pictures. Look on the back trunk. If it has Red Lobster on the back, then that's the one that came from the Cars and Crew set. So little collector's tip there for you. 2 versions of this Pontiac. The rarer of the one has the Red Lobster on the trunk lid. That's the rare one. And this is one of only 5 trucks, NASCAR trucks, that TYCO produced. So all in all, this would be a great little twin pack to have to race, or like I would suggest personally, hang it on the wall. But I get it. If you want to open it up and be the first one to have those cars hit the track, either the Mark Martin or either one of those since 1998, I get that too. So without further ado, I'll pause it and I'll get to the still shots. Once again, if you are interested in any of the cars, you'll simply email me the car you want or cars, your mailing address. I email you back your total cost if it's not over $100, because anything over $100, any combination of the cars that I'm selling will get free shipping. But if it's not over 100, then I'll email you back with the shipping and the total cost to your door with the car. And if you say you want it, I invoice you via PayPal. As soon as I receive payment, I ship it within 48 hours, send you shipping confirmation, 100% money back guarantee on the purchase price, not on shipping. If you don't want the car once you receive it, you simply ship it back to me after an email stating you're returning the car, so I know to expect it. And once I receive it in the condition that I shipped it to you in, then I refund the purchase price of the car 100% to the PayPal account that it was charged to in the first place. So if you have any questions, please comment me, email me, contact me through my business, Scott's House of HO Racing, or contact me via email, scottdanielmo@gmail.com. So I'll get to the still shots. 1 second. You guys take care. Bye-bye.